10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Team ban. Radiant team ban. Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Welcome back, everybody, to the TI10 North American Qualifiers. We have Undying with 1 game to go. They only need to win 1 more. But we cannot count 4 Zoomers out because, like we saw on SEA yesterday / this morning, anything can happen. Reverse sweeps happen, and it can happen here as well. So when you were talking right before the break, you said that there are a couple of things draft-wise that we would be able to break down. Can you explain to me what went wrong with that draft? What went right with that draft?
Templar Assassin. I was saying that was something that Aoi could do. He knows better than me what the problems were with that. Because you seem to have like really strong opinion about like the storm spirit picked in like the second phase right away, and then like shutting off the flexibility.
10 seconds remaining.
So it's a bit about how you first do DK, right? This is something that happened a lot at the Animator.
5 seconds
and this
remaining.
sequence of events actually happened at the Animator, which is why I'm so sure about this. But if you pick your mid on 15 there, the 3rd pick for them, it means that your DK is basically locked into the offlane, and the enemy has so many picks in order to counter it. You know, you see the DK, all of a sudden they're comfortable playing Axe, they're comfortable picking Timbersaw, you can pick an Evoker, you know everything. This happened at the Animator, where people started picking the DK because Nigma were doing so well on it, but not understanding the draft process behind the hero. And then the hero fell off for a little bit in the middle of the tournament, and it had a resurgence when people were like, okay, let's just keep it flex until last pick. And we would see like last pick Sand Kings, last pick high impact offlaners and mids, and you would just have a draft advantage. Instead, Zoomers turned their own flex pick sort of into a disadvantage for them.
Oh, okay.
Dire team ban.
It looks like for this draft, which we are just getting into the second stage of bans for, 4 Zoomers had first choice. They chose first pick, so Undying chose Radiant. So we're once again flipping back over. Looks like both teams prefer Radiant side. So tell me about this TA. TA was banned and has been banned a lot lately. Tell me about this pick and why it's a good pick for Undying.
Dire team ban. Radiant team ban.
For me at least, I think that this is just something that they're valuing quite highly in this game, because I don't really know why. Maybe it's their Axe answer. Is there anything else that you're seeing, Aoi? Because like to me, this is just like we like this hero together with Nyx. That's what it looks like.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think there's any specific reason you would want this hero here. I guess Axe sort of has low armor, but I don't think he's supposed to be bad versus TA or anything. I mean, again, like 4 Zoomers are sort of breaking draft structure by picking 2 cores here and picking Ember. But I think in particular this draft, it looks a lot better because the reason, like, if you break default draft structure, it's usually for a reason. They've been given a reason because they see like this vulnerable TA and they think that Ember is the answer. I'm a little bit scared because I saw oh my god, I can't remember who's the mid player for T1. I watched so many of the games.
Why am I blanking on this as well?
Is it
his second? Okay,
they have Cuckoo, White One, Zephyr, 23 Savage, and I'm just blanking. Anyways, they're mid player. I swear I don't hate him. I remember all the Carl. Thank you.
10 seconds remaining.
It's spamming production chat.
5 seconds remaining.
This matchup as TA versus Ember Spirit, and he dumpstered the Ember as TA because he just took Meld at level 2 and he was like zoning out the Ember by like, you know, second wave. So I'm really scared for 4 Zoomers in that sense. But if Ember does win the lane, like the draft structure makes sense together.
Well, and there is like even a little bit of show flexibility. I haven't seen them do this, but on Undying specifically. But in like the last round of qualifiers, there were some TAs that were being run in the safe lane. Taro that was doing it a lot. out of Eastern Europe, and I think that we saw maybe a little bit in South America as well. I'm not sure, but if they like really sort of overcorrect on this, or they see a potential for a good matchup in that off lane, maybe TA can go there as well.
Interesting.
Okay, that would be pretty cool actually. Oh, Tomoda is one of the players in pubs who was playing the TA, I believe.
Okay.
It was like a select fieldum. I mean, it was
Radiant
like the SA special
team
plus
pick.
Artesian. Tomoda is one of those SA carries, so right, maybe that'd be really cool actually. Because okay, so carry TA should be good for all fanatics, right? Like he needs to
Yeah.
get into the wave. Just go see side blading him. He has 2
Dire
base armor.
team pick.
Meld is -5 armor for 12 seconds. So I can really see that. I like that idea a lot there, bro.
Awesome.
I think it's
And
their idea if they do it, but take credit.
No, it's definitely your idea. We have declared it as your idea.
10
And
seconds
if that's
remaining.
true, like I'm terrified for Fort Zoomers because Ember is not.
5 seconds
He is
remaining.
not a good laner if you don't see your
Radiant
matchup. He's
team
very vulnerable in mid.
Taking the Viper out at least at this point. And there are other heroes that can screw with them, like a Storm or something like that. We already got 2 of the spirits in the game. Why not? Let's just double down on it. This Earth Spirit's interesting. Like I know Ocean's very good at it, and it's like
10
it's a little
seconds
scary
remaining.
now having 3 melee cores in Wyvern Nyx.
5
Or
seconds
not the 3
remaining.
melee cores, but 3 melee heroes just in
Dire
general
team
into that.
pick.
Sure. It also just feels very committal, right? Oh, and I think there's a high percent that you're correct about this TA being safe lane. Because Undying, if there's a team that does like do the draft knowledge being like sort of standard, understanding where they want their heroes, it's definitely Team Undying.
10
If they pick Doom and
seconds
put it
remaining.
off lane, they sort of, I mean, Doom can also go mid, but they've left their options really open
5
for TA.
seconds
It's not
remaining.
committed to safe lane, it's not committed to mid. They'll see all the heroes on Fort Zoomer side, and then they'll decide the best plan.
That'll definitely be interesting. Now, on the side of 4 Zoomers, what does it look like they're up to? They have 2 spirits on their team, and of course they have the axe first. What is it looking like? What are they rounding out their team with? What is their strategy?
So they have good catch right now. All 3 of these heroes are pretty good catch. They're lacking a little bit of like what I call casual damage. Like, you know, the Blink TA, he just walks up and melts on, and they die. Right now they have to commit a lot. They have to commit like some Remnants or Earth Spirit Ultimate, or like stay beside it with Ember Shield. I'd like to see them get first of all, they're going to pick the carry here mostly, and I'd like to see their support be one of those high damage supports. Not Scarface, because
Dire
that hero
team
is
back.
terrible, but something like that.
Venom
We saw it
Man.
played it. I think they played it in their last series against Undying, and that did not work out very well. So,
Okay.
okay, Veno.
So this TA is going to go mid now against Ember Spirit most likely, because again they left their lineup open on Undying. We can see
10
like
seconds
if
remaining.
they picked a hero that locked TA into safe lane here, all of a sudden 4
5
Zoomers pick up
seconds
Venom and you have a
remaining.
safe lane TA versus Venom matchup. Looks horrible.
Right.
But now you have that flexibility, and 4 Zoomers are sort of, I mean, this could be a 5 Venom. Like I know Husky and in particular like Fly from Team EG do play it in
Radiant
NA,
team back.
but it looks most like it's just a carry axe offering Veno and like an Ember mid. They're just gonna pick some damage on their 5 position.
Carry Veno. I guess that makes sense.
No.
because-
Carry axe offering Veno.
Yeah.
Carry axe off lane Veno. Okay,
Yes.
that makes sense because all of their
10
all
seconds
the other
remaining.
stuff is like all banned out already. What about Undying?
5 seconds
so
remaining.
they banned out Morphling, so Undying can't have it. What does Undying need?
I would
You know what I wouldn't mind would be, is it a good Alk game if they wanted to swap that? I always think of Alk
Dire
when I see
team
Venom.
back.
That is a classic counter. You know, your region negates his ultimate. The lane is like not too bad, and you can purge off a lot of his spells with your ultimate. But I would like to see them just pick something a little bit more high tempo. I think right now 4 Zoomers draft is vulnerable if you have something that really punishes this Venom lane.
10
The thing about
seconds
ultimates is,
remaining.
yes, you will be able to farm, but Venomancer will have a game of Dota to play. I feel like
5
if you show
seconds
an
remaining.
Earth Spirit lane with any offlaner, you should look to punish that lane, because Earth Spirit is he's just so bad in lane. He wants to like rotate. You don't want this Venom to be
Radiant
free in
team
lane and then
back.
let Earth Spirit rotate to your offlane and keep killing you. That's the only strength this hero
Dire
has. for me.
team pick.
Enchantress and Lifestealer come out as the final bans. That's not a lot, not a lot left.
Yeah, really good Enchantress ban from Undying, by the way. I think they really would have wanted down 4 Zoomers. They wanted to play Tempo, and you know, having
10
a 5 that can
seconds
sort
remaining.
of push really adds to that. You know, set Veno wards, get some creeps in the tower, and
5
they defend, and
seconds
you like just
remaining.
all and commit with them with your double spirit lineup.
Radiant team pick.
But yeah, I'm not too sure.
Keeper
Okay, so they do
of
go
the
for the
light.
Kodo. Husky did play a very good Kodo, as you're mentioning, Lyrical. A little bit scared for them right now.
I mean, there's some cool things here. You can like sort of keep that Earth Spirits sort of chain it going, keep on spamming out your spells, or any of these heroes like
10
Double Slice,
seconds
the
remaining.
classic that we saw for a long time. And maybe that's something they're going to try and play
5
around
seconds
as well.
remaining.
I feel like this is such a weird draft, you know? Like, you've got Carry Axe, you've got like this Veno playing with Earth Spirit together. Like, I don't, it just feels so weird. I really don't like it.
If I were 4 Zoomers, I would be terrified. My poor Coddle, I'd be terrified of that Nyx too. Just like
Oh yeah.
hopping on the back line and just destroying them. Even Veno too, you know, like, and then if Veno doesn't get the ulti off, the 4 Zoomers will be in in a little bit of trouble with just Axe and the 2 spirits.
Blinding Light's cool this game though. You
I know Weaver's not in the meta, but I actually think they should pick Weaver, which is a
What
really
makes you say
weird
that?
pick. It's just okay, they make Juggernaut.
Choose
So this
your
is a
hero.
similar thing where I just want a carry hero. When this stupid snake Venomancer shows his face in lane, you just go on him and kill him because he is so slow and pathetic. Like he has 280 MS or something. Like if you have the heroes to do it, you can completely punish this pick. And like if Veno doesn't have a game to play, I think this draft is impossible for.
Can I just say that I really appreciate how you lift Venomancer up on a pedestal and say what makes him so great, and then you just dumpster him in like the next sentence. It's really good. I appreciate the duality.
To everything. He's just like, he calls everything like dumpster garbage, blah, 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 and then he's like, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I really like just misleading people. It's really fun. I don't know why. I think
You
work
can't
the
do that.
animator.
You can't do that. My brain is a sponge. I'm learning from you. I'm gonna say all this dumb stuff that's not true, and then
You
people are
should
gonna
not
tell me I don't
that
know
because
anything.
It just encourages me.
No, Veno really good against Jug and Lane. Great.
He's
Okay.
really good with Jug and Lane. You can jail him when he spins, and then
yes,
just right click
perfect.
him and kill him.
Yeah, it's
All right, I play Venomancer. I'm not that dumb. All right. So anyway, tell me real quick, blast off. What draft do you think is gonna win this match?
Yeah, I think there's going to be a 3-0. They do have some counterplay from 4 Zoomers. I think specifically, if you can make the Veno lane work, maybe start there with a Kodo at level 1, get a surprise kill or something, then you can make this happen. But I'm really scared for 4 Zoomers.
Prepare
Also,
for
they might
battle.
even just go
This
Traveling
very
on
much.
Undying, which Carry Axe is really weak against. They
Kill
have
him all,
like
kill
all
him all.
options.
You think
All
you
right,
could?
well, we'll see what happens in this game 3, potentially the last game. Let's hope not, as we go into this last game. Undying versus 4 Zoomers. Gentlemen, please take it away.
Thank you so much, Sumi. You know, Aoi, she's just been like such this beacon and ray of positivity that we've got going. And then we come into this game and we just got like these dark, stormy clouds over our heads that's going on as we hover over the Dubu Chad.
That's a good
down.
spray.
Wow, that is horrific.
It really looks like Dubu.
That is really bad. You know, the bush being under it and then like making it look all weird and distorted too. Yeah, that's not great.
30
Can we
seconds
look
to
at
battle.
anything else? Literally anything else, Pop Tart. Oh my god, just take us away. Go somewhere else. There you go. Go to Roche. Check out Roche. Yeah. So there it is. Perfect. Still there. Don't. So Aoi, it's the Venomancer. That's the one that feels weird to me. Is Brax gonna have a game?
I mean, Wyvern's sort of a weak 5, and it does look like. I mean, I like that Undying aren't going Ego. They
The
had the option
battle
to shut down the
begins.
Axe, but I think they've correctly identified that the hero they really need to shut down this game is a Venomancer. I think, like, the problem here is like the 5s on both sides are not that good at zoning. So Saber like gets a good start, Moonmeadow pulls on wave, they could actually end up tri-laning bottom with Nyx Assassin, Witch Wyvern, and Juggernaut, and Venomancer will literally have to go jungle. There's no counterplay to it. It's not that slow to jungle, but you won't feel good doing it. Right, I'm really concerned about it. Like, it's not like I think 4 Zoomers can't win this game, but I would way prefer to play Undying's draft.
think that that's a good statement. There's some other
you see Bryle?
possibilities. Yeah,
Just took Meld at level 1 and melded Gunner twice in the middle.
amazing. Look at him. He doesn't know what to do. Can't handle it. Mentally breaking. The melds are entering his head. Never mind. He got last. He's back out of it.
Yeah, and Gunner, you know, he did have a read on the matchup. I mean, Gunner, he was known for his Ember Sphere, right? This is his hero. So he started with the Ring of Protection, and I think that might make a big difference. Because the other times I saw this matchup, like the Embers were not prepared to get meld struck at level 1 or 2.
You get nothing.
Yeah, I think definitely the type of player that goes out and watches a lot of those other matches probably keeps an eye on the other players playing it. And you know, you talked about Carl playing the TA. He's also really well known for his Ember Spirit as well. So, you know, just having that better understanding of the matchups, watching other. But
yeah, mid lane is so knowledge specific. I remember there's this one like summer or something where CCNC is talking about how he beat Abed's Meepo mid or something. His Meepo versus TA, and he was like, in this game, when you could use a glyph early,
Acts like this very much.
I managed to glyph his poof, and I owned him that game. But the first game, I didn't glyph his poof, and he got 2 CS, and the lane was over or something.
right.
And it's like mid is so snowbally and knowledge based like this. Like if you don't know something's happening, like if Ember doesn't have this ring of protection, I think this lane might be over right now. He would have taken like another like significant amount of damage because TA would have just manned up on him once he was done. But instead, you know, we have a game of Dota in this mid lane.
True.
Gunner's actually doing very well in CS.
Always love to see a game of Dota if we can get them, and not just the stomps that were happening for a little bit there. But you can see Husky making that rotation over as well, and stole the water rune. Ryle, let's make do with his regular bottle. Fill it back up, and they had direction. So we did see for a while also that like combination of the Keeper of the Light paired together with the Ember Spirit, where you're just going for like max amounts of just light spam and everything else that comes out. I'm curious if there's anything else that Husky's going to look for. I remember you playing a lot of Coddle back in the day as well. One of the best stacking heroes in it.
Yeah, for sure. I think you're pretty much right with your assessment. They just sort of want to combo the Coddle with the Ember. This used to be some epic combo, like first. Ooh, Husky with the triple stacks here.
Yes.
Ooh, that's beast. Just kidding. Messed up. He got 2 of them.
Terrible.
But the idea is there.
Ported.
Honestly, that's mid lane. Nice rotation.
Open. Ryle underneath the tower. Is it going to be enough with the body blocks? They're turning Gunner. Ooh. Careful.
Thanks.
All right, so they bring more heroes mid on Undying. Is there any chance for like a
Radiant's
punish because
bottom
of that?
tower is under
We'll have to
attack.
keep our eyes on these sidelines to see if they get anything out of it, but don't manage to quite find that kill on the
Never refuse
That
good
was so
given.
honestly, like, Gunner barely didn't have his guard up there. That would have been a kill, and it would have been the huge momentum swing that I think. I mean, it's not like 4 Zoomers are behind, but like if you're down 2-0, you need something to get going, right? It's not what this game is with like the overall series, I think.
Absolutely. Although you do kind of have to treat it one game
For sure,
try
for
and
sure.
just put the other ones out.
Oh, something, you know, I've never seen this matchup, like Doom offlane versus Carry Axe, but I think eventually we might see an Aghanim and Scepter coming out from Doombringer. If you break counter helix, like what is Carry Axe?
Yeah, not very good. Can't even Manta. I mean, it might even be better just... yeah, I think that that's a pretty solid target to Doom. I mean, who else do you want to Doom in this game? Ember's going to be so hard to catch.
I mean, if you can Doom Ember, or you can Doom Veno before he gets his ultimate off, it's always good. The thing about Dota is like having more options makes it easier to play the game. Oh, bottom lane. Tomato's actually getting quite pressured in this bottom lane. I mean, he's farming really well. He's up 10 CS, but Veno does have... oh, nice. Sniping his Healing War with Playboard. That's a big play. Having more options just makes it easier to play. Like, that's why Wraith King's pick versus Doom. It's not like he can't just Doom your mid or something, but you'd rather him not him have to choose.
Moon, back towards mid.
Be in
Gunner,
the
trouble, and Turret gets the first
was
blood.
well done.
Dies afterwards, but maybe makes something out of nothing there. Bad.
That's big. Because just look at the CS and EXP on this lane.
Yeah, they're definitely a bit of a lead there coming out for Bryle right now.
And this
Dire's
is a
middle
counter
tower
pick,
is
right?
under
This is a
attack.
problem. Like, he picked Ember into TA. it's not like losing a normal matchup where like, okay, I counterpicked you, you're supposed to lose this matchup. I'm picking it in that slot. Ember was saying he was gonna either win this matchup or have enough impact in the game to justify picking it there.
Well, and maybe, you know, it's not just the lane situation as well. There's something to be said definitely for later on being able to just burn through a fraction and get on top of that TA. So
sure.
I'll see if how he ends up doing with it. I'm more surprised that it's like that this Venomancer's been able to make a pretty good time for himself down here bottom. Obviously more CS for the Jug, but Veno's doing pretty good on Brax.
Considering the lane he's against, I tend to agree, but like, he is still down 700 gold in the matchup.
Right.
Dire's middle tower is under
it's
attack.
It's not one of those lanes where you feel like, okay, I've hit level 3 wards, I'll kick him out. Tomato very smartly has gone for 2 in healing ward, and he's literally just going to hit the wards and kill them, because Juggernaut has 1.5 BAT and he has phase, so just hits the wards.
Brax can get for those denies in there. Moon scouting out these stacks that are now being taken. Sammy getting it, and Moon soaking the XP. This is what you want to see. Does he go for a stun to try and steal some? No vision in the air. He will be kicked out of that area for the moment. While Ocean and Gunner, again, the same rotation as Brax dies down bottom. They try and make something happen here. They're going to find Moon. Roll in.
Dire's top tower is under
Spike
attack.
Carapace comes out. Stun afterwards. Saberlight making the big rotation. Ready. Drops it now onto Gunner. The save coming onto Moon. Oh no. Undying make the huge
Dire's
play.
bottom
Punish
tower
Gunner
is under
hard.
attack.
And that's at the same time, you know, you're fighting over there. You're like, okay, we're making space in this area for, you know, offline to pressure to carry, but instead it's Tomato who's solo killing Brax because it's Juggernaut versus Venomancer, and you're always terrified. And he didn't even use Omni Slash, so there's still fear for Brax in this bottom lane. It's looking a little bit like another outdraft. Well, it's like another outdraft, but we'll see. Like, maybe there's some timing I'm not understanding with this Ember Kong. It's a very powerful building.
Oh god, oh no, Gunner. Remnant's back. He's gonna be fine.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Rotations back to it. Yeah, it's gonna be a tough one. It's already floating between that 1 and 2
Radiant's
gold
bottom
lead as
tower is
Ocean
under
is gonna
attack.
run into Moon again. Yeah, you can see Sammy's first ever game on Axe,
Dire's middle
at least
tower
in
is
professional
under attack.
matches. 9 different heroes so far in the qualifier. A very, like, you know, he's a big hero pool, but I don't know. We'll have to keep our eyes on it and see how he does. Going for that Manta first has so often been the.
Yeah, I do feel maybe it's best to not think about the last game actually and just focus on this, because you know, Four Zoomers just still in this. Ember's rotating bottom lane. They do have these level 4 meta wards, which means they are making the right decision. You know, your hero has a timing, let's go fight around it. Bring all our resources, we're a bit behind, but we make good plays, we can still win this.
Gunner runs to the middle. Tomato going for that CP away, so they will find Moon. And the thing is to kill them. The slowdown is there.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
That's a
attack.
very important kill here. Tomato makes a really good play. He spin TPs, but instead of going to
Dire's top
she goes to
tower
top
is under
tower. To
attack.
match the pressure, I think we should see 4 Zoomers look to defend top and take bottom. But I don't know
Dire's
if they
middle
took
tower
Doom time.
is under
Like, Doom's
attack.
only 15 seconds. Ideally,
Radiant's
it
bottom
would be
tower is
Gunner
under
just
attack.
TPing up there and sort of running down the lane, sort of CC&C style with
Dire's
Vanguard,
top
but
tower
instead he
is
has to
under
TP
attack.
mid because again, like, the mid lane went so well for TA. She's actually a pressure hero now.
Radiant
but she's a beast
structures
right now.
are fortified.
Dragon
She got the DD, so that makes it look all the much terrifying to actually
Radiant's
be there.
bottom
So they're
tower
gonna
is under
keep
attack.
Brax bottom. He takes that tower, and in the meantime, Tomato is also going
Dire's
to get
top
top. So
tower
they're
is
trading
under
1 for
attack.
1. And like you said, it would be great if they could have kept that one
Dire's top
alive,
tower
but
has fallen.
won't be the case for now. But it does at least open up a little bit more room here. Brax, I mean, this is for a while what we saw at a Venomancer, right? You just be annoying, you sit down bottom, you have a ward there maybe. If you come and gank you, it's like, whatever, I'm a Veno anyways, bro. Why are you coming after me?
True.
So, we'll see.
And you're exactly right. I think we'll see Brax kill this wave. Maybe think about rotating to mid, sort of forming a wall there. If he does that, like, it'd be pretty
Dire's
good
top
for them. It's
tower
not like
is
TA
under
really
attack.
wants to sit versus the Venom wards.
Radiant's middle
and
tower
this,
is under
like, Doom
attack.
can't do it either. So, you know, there's some. If you can force map control like that, I can see some really good plays opening up on the 4 Zoomer side. Something that 4 Zoomers have been doing really well is getting these stacks up for Sammy Boy. He didn't have the best of lanes, but he's actually the same net worth as his very fat TA. He's having a great game now.
This is a big opportunity here as well. It seems like it's going to be so impossibly hard to go into Tomato, though. This is such a free jug game, and he spots the courier going by. Ocean is
Dire's
there.
courier has been
They're
killed.
going on a bottom, though. Also, I mean, they go for the gank, and they're going to kill him. And the unfortunate part is, I don't think they get the return kill on the other side. Tomato's out. Spin TP. So good this game.
It is. It's only the carry axe that can cancel it. And as we saw in last game, like with how Tomato played, I think that's how you sort of want to play the carry axe. You're just farming. You don't want to come into these moves that much. And the most unfortunate part about the bottom play is they didn't even have to use the Doom. Right. So Undying are up 3k gold, but they still have all their timings, which means it's hard for Zoomers to make an aggressive play. It's a Earth Spirit.
The Ocean, and they also spot Moon, so able to force them back. Creates a little bit of extra room here now. We did stack up these a little bit. Looks like they're going to be taken by Brax. Battle over them as Gunner in the mid lane trying to keep it pressured on out.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Fine and dandy, but yeah. What are we now? 3,000 gold lead. It just keeps on growing for Undying. Game is looking really rough.
The thing is, normally you can say stuff like, oh, the Doom has a Midas and level 4 Devoured. This is sort of fake gold. That was really close to dying. Doom wanted to curse him there into the Doom.
Attack.
But if you look at the experience graph, they're also around 4 to 5,000 experience ahead. That's not what you want from the 4 Zoomer side. I'm going to say a lot of it is on the fact that T is level 12, Gun is level 8.
He's level 6, and he is super dead. They kill him off in an instant.
The jungle has everything Axe
Ocean is back
desire.
over here, trying to soak up XP as he's hanging around this area.
Dire's top tower
Zoomers,
is under
every
attack.
minute that goes by, it feels like they're falling further and further behind. Gunner tries to get out of there, has the remnant, the chase, the right click, that might be enough. Oh man, the bottle keeps Gunner alive. Scary, scary times right now for the 4 Zoomers. Again, their life left in this round of the DPC and their attempt to try and go to TI. It all depends upon this game. And right now they are behind. What's sort of the comeback play for them as far as like what they're wanting to make moves? Is it controlling the map, or is it like trying to make a smoke gank? Because it feels like they have some heroes that can do stuff. I don't know. What do you think?
I think they have to take a fight on side lane Dota, where Winter Wyvern, like if they fight and try to go on this TA, Winter Wyvern's just going to reset the fight with Winter's Curse, and it's going to be really hard. They need to find someone on the side lane alone, and so just bring a lot of heroes and kill them. The problem is that all their damage is sort of slow damage. Like it's like sort of a stupid term, but we actually use it. We used it a lot on back when I played with Moon Meander and Bile, like slow and fast damage. You want burst in order to like kill heroes fast. Otherwise, the enemy team will react,
Dire's middle
right?
tower is under attack.
Oh, Moon Meander mid lane. This is what they need on 4 Zoomers.
Good call, but afterwards able to get it. There's the full embrace.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Do they have anything else left in the tank? There's the Winter's Curse. They are in some trouble in the Doom on Ocean, so they didn't even have that fight for afterwards. Can they kill Moon though? Drops down low, Sammy gets the death, and actually they're keeping Ocean alive, and that's the chance. They have a re-initiation. Saber Light kicks it back into the ulti. Gotta save his stun just to make sure he's a go, but that's a nice play. Purges off, magnetized. Still though, can't purge off all the rest of that shenanigan. The steady beatdown continues. They get the roll. They get the kill.
Dire's top tower is under
So
attack.
honestly, my play I talked about was utter trash. If you tried to play side lane Dota at 12 minutes into the game, it will not work. You will instantly lose. 4 Zoomers with the better call. They fortify the only position on the map they can hold. I mean, they still lose mid tower that play, but that was really important for them, especially in the experience department. They fortify. They bring all their heroes to this fight, even as carry axe, and it leads into like 2 really big kills. They killed a top network Doombringer, which is hugely important. I did want to mention, I do really like Saberlight's build here. I feel like a lot of Dooms stop thinking about their builds and just go for like phase boots minus BKB. Oh, Brow denies a rune there. Very sneaky and nice there. But instead, he's recognized that 4 Zoomers are behind, so they don't have enough damage. If he just builds pipe with this healing word, we saw that in last fight, like it was so hard to kill Moon Meander, this stupid 4 position Nyx bug. just because the healing ward's on them, if you combine that with the pipe, they're just gonna run out of damage. This will let you take any fight you want, let you take Roshan, etc. The one downside to this build though is that if something bad happens where they get enough, Sammy Boy's just alone here.
That's not where he wants to be. Manta down. He can throw a lot of this damage. Well, something went wrong now. He wasn't anticipating. It was bad for the Zoomers instead.
I swear that happens like once a game this series, where
Yeah.
I feel like Sammy Boy, he's just a bit out of position, trying to maximize a bit too hard. Is what I was saying, if something goes wrong for Undying, and you build items like pipe that don't scale in the same way, second move.
Another one of the
to
turns.
do?
They got them in on range and got him caught. Now the slowdown, the first is there, the roll afterwards. Is this the fight that they need? Can they survive the doom? Kamato's on top of it. It's not gonna happen. He's dead. Ryle on a killing spree. That one, I think that was a side blade hit, wasn't it? I don't know, it was sick. But regardless, I'm dying right into the pit. You know how you keep on talking about how pipe, it's not gonna scale good if they lose a fight or something, but they keep winning fights.
Yeah, I mean,
pipe's pretty good.
I think it's the right item choice. And I think it's the highest win percentage. It's just like if you do some catastrophic mess up where you feed 5 kills and suddenly they do have damage to punch through the pipe, it can often end up feeling worse than BKB. It's just like
Grabe
this
naman
is the right item
yun.
choice. I think it's it closes the window for Zoomers, but it is high execution. You can't go snowball items and like not snowball the game. But Undying, you know, they've gotten consecutive pickoffs on cores. They've taken Roshan. It looks to be like another very clean game coming out of them.
Is what we've talked about is like some of the best parts of Undying teams is that they don't throw these games pulling out to a little bit of a lead. They're consistent in that. It's just kind of been this bugbear constantly in the side of four Zoomers where they do well against pretty much everybody else in the region, and you know, even occasionally against some of the better teams they start to look pretty solid, but they haven't been able to at least in the DPC it feels like take down Undying. Some of those other tournaments they've been able to. It's sort of been a little bit back and forth in that regard, but big matches, it's been rough. And so far, staring down the barrel of a 3-0 with Undying on the verge of making it to TI. Third team to come in from this region. Absolutely huge for them. And I mean, we've talked so much about what this would mean for all these different players, but all of them either trying to revitalize careers or just, you know, establish it again.
I'm not saying like other people aren't
sure.
good too.
And
like I would have a decent team.
Knoxville, our stats actually mentioned that Rao picked up that
I would
kill
have a decent team.
on
Roshan has fallen to the Radiant.
onto Ember Spirit by hitting him and sideblading him through the Venom.
Right.
This is something I
didn't know
saw.
that was possible.
Yeah, I think it was GPK on TA against T1 maybe. I can't remember who did this, but saw that ESL1. He hit like 3 Venom wards and almost like wiped the enemy team because Venom wards have 0 armor.
Right.
So if you hit it with Desolator, they get like negative 33% or whatever it is, and then that's
Radiant's
translated
middle
as
tower
pure
is
damage
under
to the
attack.
side blades. So you're effectively critting for 1.3x your
Dire's
damage as
top
you do
tower
that,
is
which
under
is
attack.
insane.
Yeah. Well, so what you're telling me right now is that the counters to the TA of the Veno and the Ember are not working out too well. You get a blinding
Radiant's
light
middle
pushback,
tower
Brax
is
pop
under
shield.
attack. Dire's structures
Roll
are
in.
fortified.
Ocean, they're right on top. Oh, the side blades.
Dire's top
Oh,
tower
side
is
blades.
under attack.
Gotta be careful, buddy.
Radiant's
Brax
bottom tower is under attack.
Solo, but will be able to go for a
Comforting
counterplay if they
rune
want it.
of
That Venom
regeneration.
is starting to hurt on him.
Dire's
It
top
won't
tower
matter. And then the
is
whole time,
fallen.
Tomato's just got a completely free game. This Jug has gotten everything.
For sure. And I will say, Sammy Boy, again, similar to the Faceless Void game, is farming extremely well. He had that one pickle, but I'll give a pass on that because he came to that very fight mid as well, you know? You gotta support your carry players. Oh, Ocean bottom though.
Yeah, trying to trail it all in together pretty effectively. Jump in, good call. Ocean living with full break
Radiant's
afterwards.
bottom tower is
And
under
he's
attack.
divine after the fact. Yeah, plenty of them. No, Omni Splash comes down. Turn onto a wall. Can they kill Tomato afterwards? Kills off that healing ward. He's out of mana. Nubu is there for the save, but make that kill happen. David Talbert disarm Ryle. Was buyback for that one. Undying, maybe starting to feel the, you know, like they already won it. A little bit too fresh and cool with the move.
Yeah, that ended up being a fight under the dire vision. For Zoomer, seizing the opportunity really well there. Sambo, he's just really farmed, you know. He has Blink, Manta, Vanguard, and he's gonna have the shard exact. He's gonna have more than enough gold to get the shard at 20 minutes when it spawns. And for Zoomer, showing some life in this series for sure. And you know, Sambo, he channeled his inner Tomato there with a nice 3-man call.
Right.
And
Dire's bottom tower is under
I'm
attack.
gonna say this: if some way, there is a reverse sweep that happens in this series, that moment right there was the moment that started it all.
For sure.
I don't know if that's gonna happen. So, I don't know if that's gonna happen because it's still looking a little bit rough. But it's only a 5,000 gold lead. We've seen bigger comebacks before in the history of Dota.
Yeah, I think, can we see like a 30k gold lead? In C, right? No, it's like 31k gold in C in these
Dire's bottom
qualifiers
tower
where they
is
have a
under
comeback.
attack.
Something ridiculous like that. And they can definitely do this. I mean, the thing about Axis game is you can see after his Agam chart, he actually has a Blade Mill queued up. People don't expect this. Like, Tomato hasn't gone for S to play his old mid lane.
Jump in. Prisoner's Curse. Oh, no Doom available. Sleight of Fist dead.
He has no
Radiant's
buyback.
top
That's
tower
a
is under
6
attack.
seconds support on the map.
Dire's bottom tower is under
Another
attack.
root there onto Bryle. Zoomer's not giving up. They're staying in this one. They have a very farmed TA still. Top net worth in the game, but right there alongside her is this Axe. Sammy with Blink done, ready to go with their shards. He gets an illusion rune now. Could be a chance here for them to make something happen. The last couple of minutes have looked good for Zoomers.
Sure, they're really bringing themselves back into this. Keep in mind, this is when Undying had Aegis. Right. Like, Zoomers are not even taking these fights. They're sort of manipulating Bryle around the map. So he's not farming how he wants and fighting with Sage's breathing. Oh, there's nothing in though.
Looking for it. Doom is out, but he's rolling away.
Radiant's middle tower is under
looking
attack.
for a kick, looking for anything to keep him survivable on Gunner, but it's going to be enough to burn him down, and he's going to have to get denied. Ocean takes him down. There's a ping there. Maybe they thought they could have gotten him to the tower for the extra reach, but there's no
Radiant's
save.
top tower
At
is
least
under
to
attack.
deny there onto Gunner. Doom down.
Look at this. Smoke crack. Just down the
They catch Bryle. Trying to blow him up. That needed just expired.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Down silent. No, but here it is. Sammy, it's the trouble. Trying to turn. Hoping to find something, but it won't be enough. Bryle.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Won't die. The cold embrace is there. The Sammy illusion's just trying to hit him, but it won't be enough. God, that was close.
And you know what probably saved Bryle there? It was the pipe aura. He was so close to death there. That was a beast play coming up from 4 Zoomers. You're down your mid, but you're still ready to fight. Oh, they're still going though.
Be ensnared in fire.
Gunner doing some good damage. Chakram, he has another slight back up in a second. For that chase down. Next again. Chakra magic back up again in a moment. And they go for the chase. Got him. Axe back up in 8 seconds now. They're not going to go for any more. Undying, respecting the potential damage here. I mean, we are starting to see some things come together a little bit for Zoomers. And when this Doom is on cooldown, they have a lot of power.
Yeah, I will say, like, of all the heroes of Dota, I think my read on Axe carry is probably the worst of any hero because it's such a weird concept, you know? This offlaner with the shard becoming a carry. Right. We saw it at the Animator, we saw it at ESL1, and a lot in the C qualifiers actually, but it hasn't looked good in NA in terms of like past 6 model games. And honestly, Sammy Boy is making it look very, very good this game.
Ryle in the mid lane could look for another jump here. Axe. For round 2. Wyvern, big jump in. They find him on the back line with Gunner now. Afterwards, they haven't done all that much. Big
Doesn't run from death.
Took down 3 with those illusions. Dude, those spins are no joke. That was wild.
What just happened?
A lot of damage. How another round here. Tomato.
Radiant's courier has
They
been
get the courier. As fight still not quite done. I want to look at what the damage numbers were on that because that looked insane.
Wait, so there's a Winter's Curse
Dire's
that
top
set
tower
up
is under
everything,
attack.
right?
Yeah.
And then they're set up for a Nyx Impale and a War Stomp there, right? Onto like 2 key heroes. And then they're all stunned, and then 3 heroes on Undying died.
Exactly. I think you got about the gist
See,
of it.
I was talking about my read on Axe. I don't understand this hero at all. I have like 40,000 hours in Dota. I have no idea how this hero functions.
So he did in that same amount of time with just popping Manta and getting the call off about 3,600 damage, and obviously Ember did a ton as well.
So was it like they cursed the Axe or the illusion, and then he's hit? No, it's after curse.
No,
I guess
think
they
what happened was
stunned.
he got the Manta off.
He was mantled when he went on TA. They cursed him. The illusions don't spin when they hit an ally, I believe. I'm not too sure on that. But I think when they stunned the Axe, they didn't stun the illusions, and the illusions are boosted up, right?
Okay.
And just spun every hit or something. RNGesus wants 4 Zoomers to have a nice reverse 3-2-3, but we'll see what happens here.
Good stun. Great stun. Catches onto both. Trouble. Buyback immediately. Tomato. They have buyback on Earth Tier 2. Commit to try and take this fight.
Dire's bottom
Acting
tower
out. They
is
buy
under
back on
attack.
Ocean. He's going to
Dire's
tier 2.
bottom tower
Looking
has
for
fallen.
more. They have Doom available. This is where things get scary. Sammy, does he dare go up high ground? They have vision up here. Take that away from him, and with the ward, oh, that was a good play right there, taking the trap. Use the trap to break the blink axe.
And man, that
Dire's
was looking
bottom tower is under
actually like
attack.
another good fight for Zoomers for a second there, but Sammy
Radiant's
had
middle tower
already used
is under
his magic
attack.
to farm.
Gunner runs in. Now looking for more. Muted. He's doomed. The Axe trying to get back home. Saberlight slowing him down to the best of their abilities. They have Spirit Form back up again in a second.
Our hero dies.
Ryle ends up fighting that kill. Gunner see if he can play a little bit of cleanup on his Ember. What else do they have left in the tank? The slowdown is there. Another round of Sleight of Fists. The Coddle's not near enough. Again with the side blade. Able to get the kill in Ultra for this TA.
Around you,
Absolutely
but it hides
beautiful.
from the unworthy.
Bro, he's just a beast this game. I mean, look at this boy. He 8-0. He stomped his lane. He got counterpicked on, like absolutely massacred Gunner in lane. And now it just seems
Dire's
like
middle
Undying
tower
every
is
game.
under
You have a
attack.
different player who's just ruining the dreams and hopes of
Dire's
the enemy team. Last game was
structures are
Saberlight.
fortified.
This game was Bryle. I don't
Dire's
remember what
top
happened in the
tower
first game,
is
so
under
my
attack.
mind's still spinning around the
was
Axe
Bryle
play.
again.
It was Bryle again in Boys a Beast, but nah, this TA is just, I mean, this is a first 2 TA. You're playing against Venomancer and
Dire's middle tower has
we're
fallen.
supposed to be good versus Templar Assassin, but it doesn't feel that way. It just feels like they're just like, you know, NPCs. He just wants to farm them with Templar Assassin.
Well, I'm very impressed right now. Undying proving that they indeed deserve a shot at TI. They have looked so freaking good throughout this series, and Zoomers struggling. It's a tough road to ride. Are they going to be able to come in and contest for this Roche? They have a feeling so every time they just get a second or two late.
Roshan has fallen into the ring.
But they will be able to catch a great stun afterwards for Moon. Catches there on to 2. Ocean, nowhere left to go, and the rest of the Zoomers have to run away.
Bounty.
Brax trying to buy a little bit of extra space, but Saberlight right on top of them. Blinding Light pushback, and they are going to feel comfortable holding on to this high ground. Second Roche going their direction.
Yeah, and now TA, she has a cheese. They've opted to give Tomato the Aegis because he's the one who's going to hit buildings. And, you know, I talked about Blade Mill
Dire are scanning.
as potentially a comeback mechanic for Zoomers, you know. Traditionally, it's always been Axe and Darkseid. The stronger your opponents get, the stronger you do as well. which makes her good comebacks, but you know, it's nullified by Aegis in particular, like specifically, and I mean, you can't call Blade Mail Juggernaut twice in a fight, so it's looking a little bit more rough for Zoomers now.
Yeah, no doubt. You know, you have these other things that have some hypothetical
Juggernaut's power is double.
combos, you know, whether it's the Ember being the double slites or even the like double Berserker's Call that you could get close to with the Chakra Magic cooldown. But at the end of the day, when you're down 60,000 gold, like, feeling pretty rough. Another pause is going to come out right now. Like, Brax is ready to go again. They are going to go in for potentially what could be one last hurrah. I don't know, we'll see. They're underneath the ward right now, but simultaneously, Dire have vision that there's a ward there. Otto with the DD. Mjolnir Manta. This Jug is so fat.
He is, and you know, he's not even the most fat one in the game. Right. He has 4k net worth above him, but man, Tomato, he looks strong. Do looks strong. Brow looks strong. Very spooky.
Get a vision down. It's about the best you could hope for the Zoomers. If they can take a fight over in this area, underneath their ward. How do you even go on this guy?
They need Undying to split up. The problem is Undying have just been playing so solid, so like well-measured, good fundamental Dota this entire series. I don't know if they're gonna have a bad TP that really lets Zoomer have our opportunity to get back in this game. But I mean, we've seen it in the C qualifiers. Knoxville pointed out there's a 32,000 gold comeback between he wrote it here, but I can't read.
That's fine.
Between TNC and Boom.
That was the big one. And now dead. Call afterwards. Sammy tried to save him. Now he's in trouble. Silent. I need light as well. Oh, the Witcher's first. Oh man, you gotta be careful. Another round of the call. A chance to turn. Not quite there.
Radiant's turret has been killed. Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Just like that, Sammy Boy falls again. 3, 6, and 4 on this axe. Had to go in over and over to try and make space, and it just not worked out.
You're just playing carry axe against Winter Wyvern. It seems like a big issue. They go in again, Undying. They can feel it. They have
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Wanting to make it to TI, that's always the goal for these teams. And on the verge
Dire's
of
bottom
making it
tower
happen,
is under
seizing
attack.
this high ground, they got Daedalus for Brile. Now buyback, don't even really end up mattering.
Dire's middle barracks
Full
has
set of
fallen.
racks are gonna go down.
Dire's middle barracks
They're gonna
has
take
fallen.
this one and start heading up to the north. They come deal with it. Still have a minute left on this Aegis.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is falling.
It looks really hard to kill the Undying heroes, but look at that discipline. Even though they're one moment from getting to TI, they understand that the only percentage fight that 4 Zoomers has is if they overextend. They have to like fight into 4 Zoomers buybacks, of which there's only one in Ember, so maybe a little bit too cautious, but I would quite say that it's going to go to TI as well.
Sure.
And just good fundamentals again. Like, how do you mess up if the enemy doesn't have any item timings left? They're not going to farm any items for the rest of the game.
Oh, and look at this. Down bottom, Saberlight so often being the guy who's done it for him. Oh, Gunner barely getting away. He was so ready for that one.
That was
right on top of where he was.
Post-Op's actually one of the hardest spells to dodge. I believe it's 0.3 seconds. I could be wrong. Like, Axe costs 0.4, and that one's like a lot more dodgeable compared to like Center Stomp is like 0.5. That one's easy to BKB, but you know, Gunner, as soon as that wave's done, he knew from last game that Undying are on the hunt, and he's just out of there.
8 gold away from buyback right now on the axe, but they just want to get involved. They got to take a fight outside their base. They need to find an opening here. Aegis just now expiring. Tomato has it. Moon. Dude, look at this guy. He's blocking the area where they were going to be. They get the silence. They don't want to go on this Nyx. They didn't want to find Moon. They wanted a bigger target. Boomers. Oh, man. They're going to run it in. Trying to make something happen. What a play there. They find the stun, and then that sets up the Doom, and now the Storm. Buys back on Gunner. Going to jump in. Tries to find the Wyvern. Okay. An opportunity here. fracked out. They take down the they kill them all. Oh, what a combo. And now the Omni Flash goes out on top of several. Trying to stop the pain, but there is no stopping it. He is going to be cold. And just like that, Undying, they're going to TI.
Radiant victory.
Just all the ceiling and all the classes. They clearly deserve to win this series. They out-drafted them, they outplayed them, they out-strategized them. Everything just coming back together.